everybody, so I wanted to make this quick video on some of the ways that you can start your makeup collection for those of you who say, oh well, I can't afford MAC and the stuff to do is so great. I wanted to share with you guys basically how I started off practicing with, I don't want to say cheap products, but I'm going to say inexpensive. So let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to explain to you my philosophy on makeup without trying to ramble. Growing up, I absolutely loved the way makeup looked on other people, but I was just like, gosh, if only I can get my skills up to that way, or if I can look that good or learn how to be that great with makeup. But I always had so much respect for the people who did makeup that I always said to myself, I would never, ever, ever wear makeup until I knew what I was doing. To me that meant I wouldn't just go in and try to master the art of putting on blush, and I wouldn't try to master the art of putting on liquid eyeliner, and I wouldn't try to do too much too soon. I would learn how to do everything one thing at a time. So the first thing, obviously, I wanted to learn how to do was apply foundation. Well, I went to the store one day and I ended up buying the foundation I used before I started using MAC was called Maybelline's Dream Matte Mousse. It's pretty popular, and I know they still sell it. It's like kind of like a whipped cream. It's really nice. But I went and I bought that, and it basically just sat in my room for like 3 months, and I didn't use it. It comes at about $8, and back then I thought that was expensive. So Dream Matte Mousse is anywhere between like $8 to $10, and it's fairly small. So I started off with Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse for a really good foundation, and here's my take on that. I think it's really great. It does kind of have like a matte finish, but unfortunately, I find that drugstore products on my skin type don't tend to give me the great long-lasting effects as MAC does. So if you are on a budget, I would definitely recommend Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse. You might like it for yourself. Maybe your skin's probably not like mine, but I like that stuff. It was a good foundation to start off. I used it with a cosmetic wedge. Next, I have been forever faithful to this mascara, and it's a mascara that I still use, even though I've kind of switched things up a little bit. But the first mascara I started using was Great Lash, and Great Lash looks like this, and it's always looked like this as long as I can remember. And there's also other ones with the lime green lid. This is the curved brush one, but this is an awesome mascara. It's really, really good, and it's only like $4, and sometimes you can catch them like 2 for $5. So Great Lash is a great mascara to start with and still use, which I do today. Even though I've switched to Lash Stiletto lately, I always talk about Lash Stiletto in my videos, but Great Lash, don't sleep on the Great Lash. It is awesome. I didn't wear blush for about, I'd say 2 years. I would just wear foundation, and I do my eyebrows, I do my mascara, and wear like lip gloss, but I didn't wear blush. But the first blush I did buy was called Amber and Rose by MAC. Now, I can't really recommend you any drugstore blushes because I never used any, so I don't want to sit here and say, oh, this works great. I don't know. But as you can say kind of like that could be your cheat. You can buy drugstore products and just use like more department store blush if you want. But Amber and Rose is really great, and as long as you go light on it, it'll last you a really long time. I still have a blush that I've had for about almost a year now, and I use it every time I apply makeup, which is a few times a week. So Amber and Rose that's the blush that I learned how to use. For my eyebrows, I started doing my eyebrows with a CoverGirl eyebrow pencil. To me, Maybelline eyeliners came on too dark and too harsh. So I would use CoverGirl, and I would use like a soft black, and they're about $3 to $4, but that's what I first started off with. And I used just the eyebrow pencil, and then I also used a line called Imani, and they had eyebrow products, and I would use like a dark brown eyebrow that stuff. Eyebrow, I can't think of it, like it's eyeshadow but for your eyebrows. Eyebrow powder, I don't know, but it was by a company called Imani, E-M-A-N-I, and I bought it from a store called Planet Beauty at Ontario Mills in California when I lived there. So Planet Beauty's still there. They have some pretty cool stuff. Imani's a really cool line. They sell like a lot of like loose powder glittery pigments, and sometimes I use them in my videos, and that's also one of the first things I started working with as far as my eyeshadow, and they're like, I think $7–10. I don't want to give you a ballpark number and be wrong, but it wasn't that expensive, because when I first started doing makeup, I was like, whoa, this is a good bargain. I don't know the exact number, but I started practicing with CoverGirl eyeshadows and Imani eyeshadows, and also I used their eyebrow stuff. And I used a flat angle brush to apply it. Also, some of the other brushes that I would use to apply my eyeshadows, I bought them from Target. This was before the Sonia Kashuk line came out. I don't know how to say the name, but the Sonia line. Before that line came out, they had another brand of brushes that were like beige, and then they were black on the tips and the bristles were brown. But those are some pretty decent brushes to start off with. And I don't remember them being too expensive, but I'm pretty sure they still sell them. And I don't remember them being labeled anything specific. So start off with brushes from Target. That's some good stuff there. I pretty much always kept lip gloss in my purse. Specifically, I would use Vaseline, not like the off-brand petroleum jellies. Like, I would use Vaseline for my lips day and night throughout the day for the times where I'm not using lip gloss, because it keeps your lips like really soft. Also, I want to talk to you guys about my Coastal Scents palette that I always use. Here she is. She's pretty, isn't she? Yeah, this is Christmas for me. So I bought that on eBay, and it was like $20. So if you want to learn how to apply eyeshadow, I would definitely fool with a Coastal Scents palette, because you can't afford like to not have it. Like, it's so inexpensive, and whether you like it or not, it's really not worth complaining about, because it's only like $20 plus shipping. What, 25, 30? So if you don't like it, practice on other people, and maybe it complements their skin tones better. I personally, my review about Coastal Scents, my view on it, I've kind of found it to be fair. I found that some shades work for me, some shades don't, but I do often end up using two shades. Like, I'll use a MAC shade, and then I'll put a Coastal Scents shade on top of it, and the MAC I will use underneath to make the color pop more. But I mean, it's better than nothing. It does help, and yeah, it's pretty decent. So overall, my rating on that is pretty fair. Starting off, I really didn't use concealer until I started to really learn how to do makeup. Like I said, I would learn everything in stages. So it's like, gosh, I haven't learned how to do this yet. And then I would go buy it and then try it, and I'd be like, okay, now I finally know how to use concealer. Or now I finally know how to contour. Or now I finally learned, I know how to put on blush now. I would definitely pick up a concealer for like spot treatments. Like if you have blemishes or anything like that, just individually spot wherever you need the coverage, and that'll be great too. But Dream Matte Mousse, I found, with that alone, I found sufficient coverage, because I don't need anything too heavy. But that's just me. So if you wanted to pick up a concealer that's inexpensive, I can't recommend anything new off the top of my head, because I didn't use concealer when I first started wearing makeup. But I would definitely look into doing that. I forgot about one thing, guys. Don't forget about liquid eyeliner. Learn how to use this stuff ASAP. Right now I use Maybelline. It's pretty inexpensive. I got it free with the last tube of last stiletto I bought. But they also have really good liquid eyeliner from CoverGirl. I would get on that, because that's a very good skill to have, learning how to apply liquid eyeliner, and that's cheap. It's very cheap. So get on it.
It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat. Step 2, step 2, step 2, step 2, step 2. Think it. It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat. Step 2, step 2, step 2, step 2, step 2. Think it, baby girl.
What would you do to get to me? What would you say to have your way? Would you give up or try again? If I hesitate to let you in, now would you be yourself or play a role? Tell all the boys or keep it low. If I say no, would you turn away or play me off?